It's Tasha again, and I'm here with my good girlfriend,
Sandra C.
And you guys, we super excited about this episode. Remember, we talked about earlier that June is the month of freedom, liberation. And so we have on some amazing guests today.
Yeah.
But before we get into all that, let's go ahead and say our mantra.
Okay, let's go.
All right.
And this is... You always mess it up. Mess stuff up.
I'm sorry. Okay,
let's go. And this is
the Bust Down, Jesus, and everything in between.
It's eye-catching.
Oh, it's a conversation.
It's everything.
It's the Bust Down.
Okay, now you can go back to your introduction now. I've been saying that all day. We was on the bus down. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. To my right, I have Miss Dawn Jeffrey.
Yes.
Yes. And to my far right, I have Mr. Osiris.
Cyrus.
Yes. Bob.
I've been trying to say your name all morning.
Yeah.
I don't want to mess it up.
Once you get this, it's going to slide off the tongue. Osiris.
Okay.
Okay.
Slide off. Osiris.
Older God, if you can't get Osiris.
Okay, older God.
That's what the ladies call him.
Not Charlemagne, but older God.
Older God. He said that.
Oh, he said that.
Roll off the tongue.
Same thing.
Osiris. It does roll.
Yeah.
Okay, did I say it right?
Yes.
Oh, see, I got it. Okay. And they are with the Little Rock Freedom Fund.
Yes.
And if you're like me, I did not know a lot about you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm being schooled today.
Yeah.
I'm always a student of life. And I always want to learn something that's making a difference in our community and that I can share.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So our word for today is called liberation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And liberation just means the act of setting someone free from imprisonment, slavery, oppression, to be released.
Yes.
Like he said, it rolls off the tongue.
I don't think that rolled off. But
Liberation.
Okay.
Liberation.
Okay,
you can make anything do what it do, I'm telling you.
But before we get into that, we must discuss the bust down.
Yeah.
So you want to go first? You want our guest to go first?
Let's let the guests. Well, you know what? Let's give them an example of what we say the bust down.
Yeah.
So my bust down today was I decided to wear blue for power.
Oh.
I want to stand in my power of being free in mind and spirit.
Yeah.
So I am
from
totally
bondage.
in liberation this moment.
Yes, that heart is circumcised.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, my bust down, if y'all haven't noticed,
It's the pony.
Okay.
Whatever you like.
and Audrey.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, okay.
I love it. Miss Dawn, what's your bust down?
I don't know. Osiris said it's supposed to be our shirts. You know, I think I'm a whole bust down. You know, from my hair, from my shirt. You know, I'm not gonna point. I made this little bracelet. I have the. You know, no, it's not. I'm not flipping y'all off. It's the water, the blue. Like you said, it's the water. I am a water sign. I'm a Scorpio, so you know, flow with the water. Water has position to get into places that nowhere else can go. It flows.
Already.
I must tell you about my lemonade.
Yeah.
You know, it has 3 ingredients.
3.
Lemons, water, and sugar. And water for me represents God because he's all in that thing.
Already.
The lemonade can't happen unless that water's in there.
Yeah.
So what about the lemons? What do they
all
represent?
The sour things, all the heartache and pain and discomfort.
Okay.
Yeah. Rejection, abandonment. Those are lemons. So I took that sugar, and got all in that thing and made some good lemonade.
Well, you can say what the sugar is.
Oh, it's all the little nuggets I learned along the way.
Oh, okay. Good little mix.
My lemonade got Sprite in it. I'll just play it.
You can have a Sprite.
There you go.
Have a little drink in it too.
Yeah.
And Mr. Osiris.
She done changed it.
Very liberating. We let it roll.
I like the way you do it. You know what I'm saying? We got our Little Rock Freedom Fund shirts on, Free Black Mamas. You know what I'm saying? Celebrating all the work we did and on Mother's Day week in May. These, you can go to our website and our social media and buy a shirt too. They $25.
Yeah, but we'll have some shirts for you. So if you want to support someone else, then we have that too.
And I got on the good hat with the eye on it. You know what I'm saying? Represent my good friend Dr. Eric Hughes, visionary. You know what I'm saying? They do a lot of good work in the community, partner sponsorship, a lot of stuff with us, multimedia work in Northwest, all over Arkansas.
I love it.
So visionary with an eye at the end.
Okay.
Visionary.
Okay.
Yeah,
Visionary with an eye at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Well, speaking of your organization and your website, we found that you guys do more than just bail out people.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Please elaborate on what else does your organization do?
Make it roll, gosh.
I know, right?
Yeah, I tell people we do so much. We see a need, we feel it. We've done a lot of things. Osiris, step in if I miss anything because we do so much. When the tornadoes hit, we did disaster relief, like out of spectrum, you might think, but we do a lot of community programs. Mutual aid, know your rights programs, a lot of voter and political education within our communities. We just try to offer support like on top of the bailouts. In what goes hand in hand with the bailouts, but it's something different. It's the participatory defense, where we're helping people kind of navigate the legal system that might not understand those issues. Or some people are enduring it alone. They don't have anyone. So we step in and we're that family. We show up for court dates, court support, help connect them to services with advocates. A lot of advocacy goes on. If you might know some more stuff. Osiris, like the youth, you want.
Yeah, we we organizers. So, talk about organizing the community. We do that through a number of different ways. We, help them become advocates for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Participatory action research, actually like knowing and collecting data from the community and using that data and that research to help fund whatever programs or awareness that you want to raise. We do a lot of coalition building, and I say that because work with a lot of local nonprofits like Decarcerate, the Village Place. You know what I'm saying? We work with the NAACP on things. So, we just try to make sure that all the work we're doing, we don't try to do it alone because we know many hands make light work.
His favorite saying.
I love
talking about that.
It makes like so much easier. And that's how we were actually able, Osiris didn't say anything, but that's how we were actually able to do the Rustin film screening. Like Osiris was really behind that. We had a great turnout. People were able to understand like the work that goes into organizing. Like this was pre-technology. They were organizing like hundreds of people, mass mobilization without the internet. So it just reignited for me personally the flame in me that we don't have to have these things. Grassroots organizing still works, boots on the ground, going to people, getting to know your neighbor. And so that's what a lot of, when I say we're a Black-led grassroots organization, we try to stay in our communities. Like you might not get me on the phone all the time because it's so many people calling, but you'll see me in my community. You'll see me in meetings. You'll see, we try to be where the people are, and that participatory action is really important because because you can't know how to service the community if you're not engaged with the community. You might say, oh, we need a new park. Well, the people in the neighborhood might think they need a new food bank or something that is more accessible or something that they need. So we're constantly trying to work on ways to increase our community engagement and find out the needs of the people and how we can advocate for those needs.
So speaking of community, and in your opinion, what impact does your organization have on the community that you're serving?
Yeah. I mean,
you really touched on it, but I want to know.
Yeah, I mean, because I have to really sit back, and Osiris does a really good job. Like they're really hard on me, but in a good way, because they say, well, we do like some really amazing work. And when we say we life fight together, we organize together. Like life fighting. This is life changing work we're doing. We've been able to keep parents from losing their children because they've been able to bond out, stop them from losing their jobs. We've been able to provide meals for people, transportation for people, either whether it's through ourselves or we just actually did a Lyft concierge thing where we're now able to order lifts for people who are in need. So we've been able to do like a lot of great things, be the first line of defense for people who can't speak up for themselves, the people that are often like forgot about, that you never hear their voices, i.e. the people incarcerated, like the poor people, the voices that just aren't heard. So I feel like it's changing things and saving people even through information, laws they didn't know, how to handle yourself during a traffic stop, because most people don't know sometimes that you're being violated. It's a lot of these checkpoints going on now. I know if you haven't heard about them on Arch, they've been doing a lot on Arch Street, just checking for insurance, registration, things that continuously put people in a bind.
Right.
They're already struggling, but you're going to set up a trap to continue to capture them and take more for them to put them in debt. So I say and even freeing people from the system, because once you get in there, sometimes you can't get out because when you get locked up, people don't know. Sometimes that comes with fines, comes with loss of job, all those things. So that's what I'm saying. Some of the work we're doing, but Osiris, like, you can talk about what you consider.
I mean, the truth is we're the only bail fund in Arkansas. So we're the only fund that bails people out, bonds them out. We don't ask for it back. You know what I'm saying? All we try to do is help you out with resources and get you to your court dates and help you out with whatever your needs are. But we do mental health assistance. We make sure people got access to that. We did a mental health summit last year. So we're working with the youth, so like I said, we partnered with the Village Place and we were able to connect with youth who are interested in journalism, arts, and they produced their own magazine and they're working on it again this summer. Oh, wow. And so the impact that we have, we do a lot to disrupt the criminal legal system, but at the same time, but at the same time, we are also out here doing things that the community raises as an issue, so we make sure that we always just standing in the gap for whatever people need, but, we got our mission and our goals and we stick to that, but, we step outside of that a lot too.
So how long has the Little Rock Freedom Fund been in operation? And what was the jump to start the Little Rock Freedom Fund?
Little Rock Freedom Fund we established it in 2020. And I think a lot of that came from, we saw basically a need and filled it we knew people were going to get arrested when George Floyd, the uprisings happened. I call it the summer of resistance of 2020 because for the first time in a long time, you saw, I won't say the first time, but for a while, you haven't seen that type of mobilization, mass mobilization in a while. And now you're seeing it again with the, the Free Palestine, Free Sudan, Free Congo, Free Haiti. I put it all in there. I try to make sure people know. But you see a lot of that again. So we wanted to step in the gap and say, hey, we support you going out here and we want to be there to say, hey, if you get arrested exercising your First Amendment right, then we're here for you. We want to get you out because any resistance against the system, it was warranted and needed at that point. Right. I know you all remember because we were all there together in different spaces. It was like day after day, we were seeing people be assaulted, people being abused, people being killed. And so, it was just a bubble over. So we just wanted to find a way to get into support. And surprisingly, not even just in Arkansas, people nationally got in and started donating that hey, we want you to be able to keep this going. Yeah. We want to be able to support the people. So that's how it started. And we're working backwards. I think I talked to y'all about that a little bit. We just jumped right in. We had no infrastructure. We were literally working off Cash App. We had every donation we had came in on Cash App. like we were just like, okay, here it is. This is what we were supposed to do. So we found a way to make it work.
You know what's cool about what you just said about you just jumped in?
Yeah.
It's power when you jump in. You don't know, but you know that you've been placed
Yeah.
to do something.
Yeah.
And God just, his sovereignty just comes in and his provisions just jump in with you and keep you going.
Yeah.
And although you didn't have any type of organization at the time, you got it now.
Yeah.
That's usually how jump works. It's all the
just the thought, get right in there.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. So we, like I said, we jump right in, and so we've been working more, like you said, like on building with other organizations and trying to build within our community, create more of a structure, which is so like it's like capitalistic to me whenever we have to create a structure to do nonprofit work, and we have to make money to fund this good work. And it's just like, I'm like, why can't we just give us millions and be like, okay.
Right.
Cut the cake.
Cut the cake or cut the check.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Please.
Okay. In this day and time where so many of our youth are impacted by social media, do you find that your organization provides education and support to our youth to help reduce the number of misinformed?
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, you know what I'm saying, we were able to do some work with the Village Place, which is a good nonprofit, like a resource hub in the South End in Little Rock. And that work that we were doing, we were getting together young people who were creative to help control the narrative.
Yeah.
So they were interested in journalism and arts and things like that. But we had to, you know what I'm saying, we had weekly discussions every week about what was going on in the current news and current events. And helping them to understand that, you know what I'm saying, this whole age of misinformation is like really detrimental to the community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You see something on social, people do it all the time. I call it lying for likes. You know what I'm saying? Lying for interaction. Yeah, lying for interaction and comments. You know, people are constantly telling fake news and telling lies just to pull people in for the subscribers, for the viewership and all of that. And so we always are working with the youth because I believe it's simple. You know, we working to try to save the community, try to save the world. You're not really doing that work unless you connecting with the youth.
That's right.
Because if we can't pass the baton on to somebody, then what good is our institution?
Yeah.
Well, the Bible speaks on that. It says, train up a child in the way they should go, and he won't depart from it, right?
Yeah.
And so you start early, grooming them. And I know there's other words to use.
Yeah, I was like, use that loosely with all the stuff going on.
Man, I hate that we can't even use that word like that. I used to be like, we grooming the next world leaders.
Yes.
And I got developing the next world leaders, I guess.
Yes.
So role modeling to them, you know, learning about being careful about this information. Let's be creative. How do we work and put back into our community? So I love that.
And how to think for themselves.
Yes.
And then he skipped over like one of the greatest things like he organized. He organized a whole youth civic engagement day. So it was different organizations. He always, I do it too, but it was, we had a couple of youth led organizations that came forward, and they all, it highlighted the work they're doing. And we were able to support that like through a donation to their organization, just to say like, you know, and it's not like we're giving them thousands of dollars, but it's just to say like, hey, we believe, sometimes it is close, like, hey, we believe in what you're doing and we want you to keep going. And we're also here to support you in guidance. We don't want to, I'm never interested in leading anything the youth are doing. I'll take directions and I'll support. But other than that, I want them to lead. Like if they're like, oh, we want to do an action at school. Okay, well, what supports do you need? Because that's what we'll do. We'll support you. Like you need funding, need training tactics. We'll support you, but like let them lead.
Yeah, and you know, it was really powerful work. I'm glad that you brought it back up. I forgot about it because we did this youth civic engagement day the day after the tornado hit last year. So we were about to cancel it. And then the youth started calling me that morning and said, are we still doing this? We ready? And so we had youth groups from Little Rock, North Little Rock, Searcy. And these were powerful groups. They were all doing civic engagement, direct actions. We even had one youth group that wrote legislation.
Okay.
And it became a resolution that Senator Linda Chesterfield, she passed this resolution. It was written by the youth in Searcy at their high school. And so we were able to engage all of these youth and highlight. They highlighted their own work. They put it together. They wrote the agenda, and they brought forth presentations. And I say we probably had over 80 people in attendance the day after after the tornado, and it was at the Josephine Pankey Community Center.
Wow.
And so it was kind of close to the area that was like directly impacted by the tornado, but it was powerful work, and they all talked about how they were leaders in the community and what work they had going on. So thank you for bringing it up, because I slipped my mind.
That's what I'm here for.
There you go. Working together. More hands make the work light.
Always, yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. I'm inspired.
I know. I can sit here and talk to y'all all day.
Yeah.
Yes.
What have you found most rewarding about starting this organization?
I guess that ties back into the life-changing work. Just being able, to help people. Like, I think some of the most rewarding moments are like either when the children get to be reunited with their mothers. When I saw that on Mother's Day, because one woman we bailed out, her daughter was there, and they were telling me, oh yeah, her daughter has been trying to collect money or do jobs to try to help get her mom out of jail. And you're like thinking, this is a 8-year-old child. Like that doesn't resonate with some people. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like sometimes it's so rewarding, this 8-year-old child that wants to put their money to get their mom out and seeing them reunited. Or another one, a mom, she had just had a baby and they reincarcerated her at her court day after she had her baby. Her baby wasn't anything but a few weeks old. And so for us to be able to bail her out and her be reunited with her son that she had been without, those first, I'm a mother. So those first, that's really your period to get to know each other, the bonding, and that baby was going without that, and so reuniting them was great. But I think one of my highlights I talk about, and it was because it was before I got with Little Rock Freedom Fund, I don't really talk about it much. But before this, I was working with an organization called Seeds of Liberation, which is how we actually came into being a nonprofit. We just took over the old name and, rebranded and everything like that. Omavi Shakur actually started that organization. He's a lawyer and a great friend and also an advisor on our board. We worked on a project called AR-18 Release. Now, all of these men were incarcerated for life for nonviolent drug convictions. So selling drugs, got caught with drugs more than 2 times, 3 strikes law. I say one of the most rewarding times was when we put forth legislation. The legislation failed. But somewhere along the line, the governor at the time had a change of heart, and a lot of these men started getting pardoned. Mr. Dwayne Withers was one of those, and he had been incarcerated for over 20 years. And so him being reunited with his son, his mother, who I kept talking to, she was like, I don't know how long I'm gonna make it, So for her to finally be able to see her son in the free world, that was like nothing can take that away, because this man was set to die in jail and never be heard from again. So that was like mind blowing. What about you, Osiris? What story can you tell to compare to that?
You want? It's a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of emotional labor, and like Don mentioned, you know what I'm saying. I bring it up all the time. The mother that was pregnant and incarcerated in jail for fleeing, but she was in the passenger seat of a car. So we got some real vague fleeing laws in Arkansas where you can get charged with fleeing and not be the driver or not be running.
But if she would have jumped out the car, she would have endangered her.
Exactly. Pregnant. And so she was incarcerated, pregnant. They let her out to have her child, go to the court date. She still didn't have the money to bond out, reincarcerated her. And so to be able to reunite her after a couple of months being locked up after having a child and be reunited with your newborn child, that was powerful.
Yeah.
But it's rewarding, even just, you know what I'm saying, when we at the county jail, whatever jail it is, and somebody getting released, we bonded them out and they don't even know it.
Wow.
So they come out the doors like, who did this for me?
Yeah.
Be like, hey, and you see us, we ain't walking in there with no suits on. We just hanging out like we do right now.
Yeah.
They like, y'all the Little Rock Freedom Front? Yeah.
Community.
Yeah. How y'all? Nah, y'all, you don't owe us nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then be standing there with their family and their friends, or just, you know, putting together an event. And we've never charged anybody for any type of events that we've done. You talked about the screening. That was a free movie screening. You know what I'm saying? We had a little happy hour. Let people sip on some champagne with us. You know. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Bring your juice. We good. You know, we've done a mental health summit.
Yeah.
A panel of Black therapists, dance instructors, poets, free food, free lunch. We provide that all the time. She talks about it, you know what I'm saying, every year, how we do cleanups and back to school work. She leads a lot of that.
Okay.
Dawn does. And so we never charge anybody for anything because, you know what I'm saying, we get this opportunity, we get the funding, we just gonna make sure we provide people with as much love as possible. So that's the most rewarding thing, is just to see the appreciation, because it can make us motivates us to keep on doing the work we're doing. So,
and before y'all just go to whatever's next, I don't know what our time gap is, but I just want to know. I want you to know, as much as it's heartwarming and rewarding, it also has, like, and I'll always try to be transparency. It has those gut wrenching moments, you know, seclusion, feelings of loneliness. You know, sometimes you feel helpless because while sometimes you get a person out of jail, sometimes they go back. We've had that happen. Some people, they go back, they fall on hard times, you know, relapse or something like that, and it breaks your heart. And I've really had to separate myself sometimes, because when I do stuff, I look at my community like family. Yeah. So we bail you out, you go back, or you relapse, and I'm hurting too now because I've grown this relationship with you. So some things I've had to be mindful of, as to be like, okay, I really have to limit myself. I can only do so much. You're doing great work, but you can only do so much with the funding and capacity you have, because you have to still be there for your family. We both have children. So we still have to find a way to be there for our families while being there for a community that always needs us. So, you know.
I thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Because I was going to ask 2 questions. Self-care to both of you guys. What are you doing? That's taxing. That type of work is taxing. It's ever changing. It doesn't stop. There's always going to be a need there. So what are you all doing for self-care?
We're embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. I mean, I just feel the vibe, because I know, like, we have to do so much better at taking care of ourselves, because, like, this isn't like a corporate job where we just retire after a certain amount of years. This is life work. Yeah. And so, you know, I've actually, it's actually interesting you brought that up, because Erica Garner, you know, her father, Eric Garner, was killed by the NYPD. And they said she spent so much time and she gave so much, to the point where she was so exhausted, she ran herself all the way down. And she had children as well, and she passed away because of medical issues. So I try to do little things. I do play the game. I like to play the game. Most people don't know women game, Black women game. I'll put that on there. But yeah, I play the game. I try to work out, not as much as I used to, but I try to definitely work out from time to time. Just one of my mentors recently just told me, I'm in this fellowship, and she told me when I wake up, I do one thing that makes me happy before I do anything else for certain people. And she said that could be something as easy as having a cup of coffee and sitting outside, or just sitting there breathing, or making yourself breakfast. Like sometimes making yourself breakfast is self-care, because I know it's times I've been just running and not even ate. So to me, even that, something so little, is self-care to me. So
Yeah.
I just got some ideas from that.
Yeah. Nah, like, you know, I try to make sure I do something for myself every day to like put a smile on my face. But we definitely got to do a better job of like self-care.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the stress alone kind of just make you say, yeah, I don't want to do this no more.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying? It's important. I say the best thing I can always say to do something for myself is always just let myself rest.
Right.
That's being resilient right there. Resting and, just taking a break sometimes, because, you know, we in this whole, this space now in the world where people feel like you got to be on the 24/7 grind. It's a grind culture. Like, I ain't got it, so I got to get it. I got to keep on doing it until I get it. Yeah. And then people will make you feel, you know what I'm saying, embarrassed for saying like, oh, no, I can't work 3 jobs. No, I can't have 10 contracts.
I need to take a nap.
Like, you sleeping? When you sleeping, I'm doing this. Yeah. And it's like, your day started 9 o'clock. My day started 5 in the morning. I'm like, nah, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because my day might not end. We would have to... Just for an example, we go bail somebody out of Pulaski County Jail for Mother's Day, get there before 5 p.m., leave the jail after 1 a.m. in the morning, because it might take that long for them to process somebody. Yeah. It might take that long. So we had a full day of work. Yeah. Started at 9 o'clock. The day didn't end until the next day, 1 a.m. Yeah, so and then get up and do it again the next day.
Yeah.
So that's just put you in the mind frame of like, you know, it might sound easy to say, hey, we're gonna run a bail fund, but in actuality, it might take you a full day just to get one person out. So rest. That's the self-care you can do. Take a break when you need to, because you know what I'm saying, you don't know when it's going to be your last day doing this work. So just take a break as needed, you know.
And then what is your all's background before you became or established the Little Rock Freedom Fund? Because you guys sound like social workers.
Oh.
I was thugging. Go ahead.
We was outside. Yeah, we was outside. That's what. But really, that's what makes us so relatable to our communities, because we were in the communities. You can't tell us nothing that you done did that probably we ain't did, excluding some things. I'm gonna just say that. But we, you know, we've lived it. We've seen it. We saw, you know, we've experienced the, you know, and you shouldn't have to, but we've experienced the trauma that comes with being able to understand the work so we can best advocate for the people. So, yeah, we've been outside. We wasn't doing this.
Right. They were real social workers.
Yeah. I feel like I'm hogging the questions, but so 2 things came up. What shifted your mindset to just being outside and being a part of that to, hey, I got to move into this space?
I'll say this right here. And so, like, for me, it started out as wanting to give back to my community. I know, like, everybody got a past. And so, like, I know some things that I've done that could have been considered being like a detriment to the community. So what I wanted to do when I became mature enough and to handle it, is like to just be a youth advocate, a youth worker. And so that's where I started at. I started out working, volunteering first, like to, you know, work with youth programs. Then I eventually got a contract to do some work at the Boys and Girls Club. I did that for about 4 or 5 years. And when I first started there, like, you know how you know somebody from back in the day and they see you and they're like, what you doing here? And so I had people like literally, it was so hard for me to recruit some people to come work with when I first started, some youth, because people like kind of judge you from like some certain things. But then eventually it became like the biggest 12 to 17 program in Little Rock, in Central Arkansas, because I wasn't working with the youth for a paycheck. I was working with them because I'm like, man, I see some of the roads that y'all going down. If I can help y'all avoid any of that, you know what I'm saying, I'll do that work. But at the same time, it was also like, I know what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, I'm not doing these trips where I'm going to carry y'all straight and take you to jail so you can no, I'm not doing that. Like, that's negative right there. But what I did was I preached like, hey, let's go to the studio. You got something you want to get off your chest? Okay. Go to the studio, record some music. Let's work on Pro Tools. Let's work on creating beats. Let's work on becoming musicians. Man, we was putting out albums and everything. And so like that like inspired me. I'm like, man, if I get a bigger platform to where I can just not only work with youth, I can work with adults and families. And so that, you know, that inspired me. And I also add too, one of my good friends was murdered around the same time Trayvon Martin murdered in Lone Oak. He lived in Little Rock by a white supremacist. And they refused to give that man that murdered him a murder charge. They wanted to call manslaughter. And he was killed in front of witnesses at a work meeting. It's a rest in peace to Ernest Hoskins. You go look up that story, and it's one of the wildest stories ever. And I was like, I got to do something. So that started me with the protest, because before that, I really didn't do a whole lot. But I was inspired because I was like, we gotta do something for our boy. But like before any of that happened, it just took some time to like mature and grow and develop into, you know what I'm saying, wanting to be a community activist or organizer. So I say that's where it started with me.
So do any of the individuals adults that you guys bail out, are they compelled? Do any of them ever tell you that they want to be a part of the organization?
Yeah, we actually have a lot of people. Like one of the moms we bailed out, she showed up, and her mother showed up to participate in the bailout. A lot of people are like, well, really, it's on the form. I asked them, you know, because we want to operate off of kind of like pay it forward. Like, we're doing this for you. We don't want anything from you, but we would like you to volunteer if you are so inclined, because you can help others. Or if you do have funds, you know, sometimes people have money. They might not have access to that money or family to call, but they'll be like, oh, okay, well, we'd like to give back. We'd like to donate. So a lot of people come back and they try to build that connection. I tell this story I don't tell it because I'm like, this, I don't know, but it was interesting. We bailed out this chick in Greene County where I was at one period of time. She was white and she was 19 and she was a twin, but she had seizures all the time. And I saw they weren't taking care of her. And so I called Osiris. I'm like, we have to get her out of here. Because, you know, she was having seizures and she was pregnant and they just weren't giving her any medical attention. And so she was white. Okay. And people think we just bail out Black people. No. White people find us the most, actually. So I say to curb that, we're able to do the Juneteenth bailout and the Black Mama bailout, because like people don't realize we service white people too. Like they have access. They always find the information. So that's never a problem. But we try to give us a chance to get that information. And so she was white and she's doing really well. She's getting ready to start nursing school. Her baby is about to be 2, and she named her Emily Dawn. So she named her baby after me. And so I was like, wow, that's wild. But that just goes back to life-changing work. Like, I might not feel like I changed her life, but she feels like I changed her life strongly enough to be like, hey, you know, like, I want to name my baby after you. I want to remember you forever. And so like, people come back.
You won. Ain't nobody named Osiris but me.
I think the king of the battle.
Yeah. I feel truly inspired, and I would not mind pulling up
I'm
to one of
telling
y'all
you.
events.
Yes.
How we can even partner and get
Mhm.
involved because
We
we
love
love
collaboration.
We love them
collaborating in the
too.
community. So, can you all tell us about any events that Little Rock Freedom? The reason why I paused is because I was joking earlier, and I heard when I was trying to say the LRFF, I
Mhm.
started singing a song in my head, and I didn't want to mess up.
What song were you singing?
Gorilla Glove.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, girl. That's my girl.
F&F.
And her Krubens. Krubens on Krubens.
Cougars on
I want to know what
Cougars.
events you all have coming up and what else you would like to share because we are like all in.
Yeah, y'all, that is great. That's the kind of energy we try to bring. Like y'all have brought great energy, so I feel like we just reciprocated that. It's been really great.
Mhm.
So we really, I'm gonna be honest, we came off this Mother's Day bailout. It was a lot more intense than we thought it was. Every year we do our Juneteenth Freedom Day bailout, which is where we bail out, like it's closed off to just strictly Black people. So we bail them out, get them connected to some services. We do that every year. We haven't even been keen on fundraising this year. Like I said, the money will come. I try not to like focus so much on it, but we hope to bail some people out this month in June. I won't say hope. We are going to bail some more people out in June. So that'll be 11 from May plus whatever we do this month. And we also want to try to get kind of like a block party together. Have to see if we can get the street approved. But of course, you got to go through all these, check with your neighbors and let your neighbors know. But we're trying to get that approved, like either a block party or something at the park, just in lieu of liberation, not specifically just on the date of Juneteenth, but just trying to get people involved in liberation and freedom because there's so many events on Juneteenth, but just something else that the community can go to. Numerous events are great. Hey, I'm all for it. I support you. If I can, I'll be there. But we want to create as many chances as we can to engage with our community. Yeah. And then especially the kids. They say kids don't play at parks. You know, we're trying to get that John Barrel area really built up. Shout out to Andrea Lewis because she's doing a way better job. But we need new park. They need parks to play on and good equipment because you go over to Cantrell and they got nice equipment. It's not even the rocks. It's that little put together gravel that you can take your shoes off. You know, they should
burn your feet on the hot
stove. They do burn your feet, and they have restrooms out there. So I want some of that in John Barrel. And if we can raise awareness and we're out at parks, and that could be even a chance to maybe sign a petition, do some research. Hey, what would you like to see in your park? Ask the kids, what playground equipment would you like? And maybe we start considering the voices of the community and the people instead of just going with, hey, this is what we think is needed here. Because we need a bathroom. But you want to put a new bench out there. We need a bathroom now.
Well, that goes back to the name of your organization, Little Rock Freedom. So mothers want to be able to take their kids to a safe space. Mm-hmm. But if it's not conducive to, I can't use the bathroom, you know, it's tore up, the it's not in the best. So that's going to become more of a problem for me. So it doesn't give me that freedom to be able to take my children there.
Keep them out. We want to try to keep kids outside and involved in activities instead of just in the phone on that, you know, all day.
What kind of playground equipment do you like?
I like swings. Mm-hmm. I like slides on some occasions. You know, I don't know. I used to like monkey bars, but I can't really maneuver that no more like I used to be able to do. So I just leave that alone. But really, I like sitting out by water. Like if it's a deck or a dock, you know, like I just like sitting out in water, just being, because the water is just so calming.
I like the merry-go-round.
Look, I have to say that.
It's so freeing.
Yeah, I remember flying off that thing.
Trauma.
Real free.
Like,
Or when my your cousins or stuff used to put you on that spin thing that used to go real fast. I done fell off that before too. That's what you call it? Oh yeah, I done fell off that before too.
I'll see you again. I'm gonna get you.
You hold on to the very end, just like this, going back like this.
I used to be like faster.
Oh wow. I love it.
So we love for y'all to get involved. You know, like you said, you visit our website. We have Facebook.
How do we give?
Oh, you can. We have several ways to give, but you can
upgrade it.
We upgraded. We have Give Butter. We have Venmo. We have PayPal. We have Cash App still. You know, we have a PO box that you can give to as well. Like we have all these ways.
Checks there.
So that mail them checks, cut them checks.
That's right. Because Cash App put a limit on how much you can send at one time. Right?
I'm not sure.
We want to cash.
I've never sent that much to be able to know.
We need no limits because we serve a God with no limits.
No limits. Yes.
And we want a cashier's check.
Because we know it's good.
Yeah, we need all these things.
Yes.
But all the information can be found on our website page. I know there's like some information, like we did a thing for Giving Tuesday. Mm-hmm. So we listed all our information on there. Osiris might know them off the top of his head. I really don't.
LRFreedomFund.com.
Okay.
You can find all the information. And when you see us in the community, you know what I'm saying, that's always, you know what I'm saying, that's the way to give back, to just say, yeah, we see the work you're doing. We appreciate it. We appreciate the pat on the back, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to be outside all summer.
Okay.
All summer.
We'll definitely be.
Yeah.
Outside with y'all.
Yeah,
okay.
We want to come to the block party.
Okay, well, we don't. Yeah, I was like, that's nice. Y'all fancy here.
Yeah,
I don't know if y'all saw. I don't know if y'all can see this, but we got some Flow alkaline spring water.
You know what I'm saying? Got a nice little spread. Nice little spread over there.
Y'all can't see it.
We want to take care of our guests. And we appreciate you guys coming.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have inspired me.
Yeah.
You came in with great energy. The conversation has just been amazing.
Okay.
It's going to cut, but we're going to keep talking. We might have to do further than conversation.
Yeah. That's fine.
All right.
I am just like locked in on many hands making life work. The scripture of today is Ecclesiastes 4 verses 9 through 10. It says, 2 are better than 1 because they have a good return for their labor. Mm-hmm. If either of them fall, one can help the other. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them. And so when I think about you all and what you're doing with many of the hands make light work, there's many people in the system that has fallen with no one to help them, or they don't have the knowledge of how to rights are, so they just keep falling in the pit. And the work you all are doing in the community is helping them to get out of the pit and stay free. But they have a choice.
They have a choice.
So we really appreciate you all for stopping by.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Telling us to make it roll off the tongue. Freedom.
Look.
Liberation.
This work we do is a ministry. You know what I'm saying? So this is like, you know what I'm saying, this is a part of God's plan to sit there. You know, when you've been blessed with opportunity and the knowledge to, you know, help lead people and to bring them into some understanding of, you know what I'm saying, what's going on, and you that's your duty to do that. So, most definitely.
That's awesome. Did you have a good time?
I did.
I did too.
I just feel like so inspired. Like I want to get out there and find out so much more because it is really affecting our community. And I have this one belief. I believe you touch a mother, you touch a child, and you teach her how to, you know, garden properly, she'll feed her family properly. And that in turn will turn the community around. So I am like, I think you all are doing it.
Heal the Black woman, heal the community.
Absolutely.
For real.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
So Sandra, tell the people where they can find us.
On all our socials across the board, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Okay. That's the big deal. And if you want to send a question in outside of our socials, you can inbox us, but you can also find us in our email address.
Yes. thebjib@gmail.com.
And until next time,
bye.
Liberation.
That was good. Be beautiful.
Be all the things God has designed you to be.
Don't be apologetic for not allowing others to make you feel like you don't matter.